lunchtime when I suddenly realised it didn't record, and I thought, oh, no, it's a nightmare. I have to turn. Oh, talk of the devil. Here she comes.
Looks like a carol.
Absolutely, spot on.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning. Sorry, I'm on my phone again. Hang on. Yeah, because I can't get in on my iPad. It's not connecting.
Oh. Oh well, we can see you, we can hear you. That's the main thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I have to stay too long. I've got to sort out an appointment for Peter. Oh, it all happens on a Tuesday. Hopefully.
If I changed it to Friday or Thursday, it'll all happen on a Thursday and Friday. It follows me around.
You'll just have to excuse me. Life just gets
Don't worry.
a moment. Yeah, he's got to
We're
go.
just-
How is Peter?
Pardon?
How is he? How is Peter?
Yeah, they're going to check his chest because obviously he's smoked and he's worked with asbestos because he's bringing up a load of stuff and his breathing gets very puffed out. So they're going to do an X-ray. And I've thought out for them to come and get him because it's just too much hard work for us. So, yeah. So I've got to phone the doctor, which is really hard to get through, to get this number, to phone this other company that come and pick them up. Oh, it all gets complicated. But no, we'll get there.
Are you at the Adams practice?
Yes.
Yeah, my sister goes there. Yeah, so it's
really hard to get through. You're up, you're 20 in the line.
How many? 20.
Ours starts at 20.
Oh, crikey.
Any more than 20 and you can't get through at all.
Yeah, I know. But then I've been down there. I had to go down there and have an injection. And when you go in, the receptionist is up. They're not on the phone all the time. They're busy chatting to each other. There's only 2 there. So I think they have you on a holding system.
Yeah, I think they've set up a separate office, haven't they?
I don't know what happens. But anyway.
I'm sure they have.
Yes.
Go to the doctors and it's empty.
Yeah.
I got a piece of card with a load of numbers on it.
Oh, what's that for?
It goes from 1966 right the way through till today. And alongside some of them are little ticks. That means I've got that one. And there's about, I don't know, put it this way, there's a hell of a lot that aren't ticked.
Oh, do you know what? I'll just have to ring back. All right, we're just trying to sort out the iPad. Don't worry.
And they're those are all the years that there's been Christmas first day covers from the post office. We've always done it like, over the years it was always like, oh, we must, get one every Christmas. And I have missed a hell of a lot.
No,
I've got catching up to do.
I've got a lot of catching up to do, so but I'm trying to get special ones because there's a place in Wales called Bethlehem, a post office in Bethlehem in Wales. I've been there and they've got it's not much there really. It's a post office shop cafe with a mad Welshman in it
and a stable.
Yeah. Well, it's on the bottom of a big mountain, sort of big hill that you walk up, and what happens? You can go around there early, during the year, and buy your Christmas and sign it. Buy the letter, sign it. Yeah, and they post it on, put the stamps on, and stamp it, the Christmas stamps, and send it to you every Christmas, which is a brilliant thing because you've got a first day cover with your address and name on it sent to yourself from Bethlehem.
Yeah,
So
very
that's,
impressive.
yeah. But even now, even though even if you're not there, the post office will issue first day Christmas covers with the Bethlehem stamp on. So it's nice to get those if you can, or I try to. My cow's a bit shorter. I sketched it. Actually did a video of this sketching it with the little grid and that. And then when I looked at it earlier and thought, ooh, doesn't feel right. Trouble is, when you print things out, sometimes you forget to change the perspective and it comes out all wonky. So anything's
I've
possible.
only got you on small screen.
You keep doing that. Has everyone else got it on big?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm okay.
No, it's just me.
Got full screen nearly.
I think last time you logged out and went back in.
Should I do that?
Yeah, because there's no waiting room, so you can just come in and out.
Okay, then I'll just leave. Bye.
We'll see you soon, Chris.
Bye bye.
Chris out. She's had an out tripped or something.
Right.
She's just rebooting it.
Oh, what I found. I'm still using my the same paints. This little palette, which is quite nice. Funny, isn't it? How you get attached to
Glory.
a bit too much water in there. Diluted the colour down really horrible. It's horrible. You don't want to start with grey. Don't mind mixing my own grey, thank you. Dab it off. But a lot of the paints I've got in here are well, quite a few of the colour ones. The cheap Reeves ones from out of, well, not the finest quality artists, and they do dry out really like concrete. They are. Need a few bits of tissue here, I think. Get the brush in and go.
I'm going to go back to acrylic. I think I sort of I did the last one in watercolor pencils, but
Uh-huh.
no. Back to acrylics again.
Well, it's nice to have a string to your bow. Have a little. Don't know what.
Ooh, green eyes.
It's a devil cow.
Oh, it certainly is.
Just a routine I've got, isn't it?
Yeah.
Drop it in. I was just thinking earlier, looking at my palette, I never seem to change it now. I very rarely clean it up. So, hey ho. Clean. I was going to say clean water, but the water that came out the brush wasn't clean. I'm just doing going around the ears, which means I'll have the hairdryer out before I do the background that Carol's gonna have fun with. Soften down, isn't it, today?
Mhm.
Can't do this in acrylic.
Gordon's having a coffee break now, or tea break.
Oh, morning, Gordon.
Hello.
Hello.
I've painted a shed already this morning.
Well, there you go. A real live shed, not just a picture.
No, it's a real one.
So anyway, this is just clean water for any newbies watching.
Thank you.
Clean water underneath, let it soften down. Try and get some sort of gradation. can see. Might get a bit of a fluffy feel. Gonna have to go over that bit because I've inadvertently put the dark layer of paint at the bottom. I'm so relaxed here, it's unbelievable. I've got my hands in my, one hand in my pocket, one hand on the brush. How cool is that?
Hmm.
My son sent me a text message on Facebook. What do you want for Christmas? Unfortunately for him, I've just been looking online. Gordon will love this. Concert ukulele.
Oh, yeah.
The concert one.
Be nice if I could get one with a pickup in as well. So I sent him the links to the shops that sell them.
Good idea.
Actually, they're not very dear things to buy anyway, are they? Anyway,
Depends on the quality, doesn't it?
yeah. I don't know.
What price were you looking at?
Well, if it's my son, it'll be about 20 quid on eBay, I expect.
Oh, well, there you go.
But,
Well, you might pick up a bargain that way. Yeah.
well, the used one would be fine for me. But later on, yeah, I'll buy a, £150 one or something. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? Right, that's that bit. The eyes, you'll have to make up your own mind. I've just got this thing about starting off with green. Don't ask me why, because I ain't got a clue. Mop out. Do you reckon there are variations in the cow's body, isn't there? I noticed. So I've put a pencil line along there. I think the reason for that was that it's his shoulder, isn't it? Shoulder of beef. I'm trying not to think about all that.
Sad,
Sort
I'm
of
going on. I'm going to get upset otherwise. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, Gordon. Bye.
something I said.
Oh, yeah, the shoulder.
I'm the one that's a vegetarian. Trying to think. My mum rang up the other day. Said she was been in hospital. Suspected heart attack.
Oh,
Oh,
dear.
no.
But when they got there, checked her out, and it's just you're stressed out because we keep cancelling your hospital appointment for your hip replacement.
Oh,
That figures, doesn't it?
yeah. Stress can do a lot of damage.
Yeah. So she's not the most hardy of person. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm just making it a bit darker over this side. What do you reckon on the face? Anybody got any ideas on the cows on this area here? Any thoughts?
It's very
Full.
hairy.
Hairy.
Has anybody got any? I mean, I'm open to what I know. I just get on and do it, but it's always interesting to hear what other people are thinking in the background. If anything, thinking, no, you get on with it. I know I'll make a mistake. But anyway, what I'm going to do is keep saying I'm going to use clean water every time well, most of the times I do that, it doesn't come out. I'm just going to go around, leave the mouth bit for now, I think. Yeah, just tease out where it's just clean water, it's supposed to be.
Mm.
I'm just making it damp for a minute. It doesn't, and then I'm just going to go over it with, actually, it's not probably not far off what colour it should be in. Sort of an off whitish colour.
Yeah.
Well,
It
to
sort
that
of pinky.
end, I'm just going to get a, might be able to do it with this brush. I did spend some money on art supplies this week, but it was only about a tenner. This is just the some white. So I've decided, and actually while I'm at it, I've got pencil lines that I'm going to have to try and scrub out. Oh, I was so busy chatting away, I forgot about them. Need a thicker, stronger brush. What about a nice flat-headed? I don't want a cow with orange lines going down through its head. This is madness.
Mad cow disease.
Well, it won't go away. It's supposed to be just watercolor pencils, so it should just dissolve, shouldn't it? That was the theory behind using them anyway. Seems okay. I think that's a hair. Don't know what that is. Oh, it's pencil mark.
The line.
Yeah,
That's
it's,
a
it's
line.
one of
It's
my
got
pencil
this-
lines. It's a
Oh,
pencil line.
Mm.
That's gone. That's got them. They're all gone. It does work, see?
Mhm.
Using the watercolor pencil just to. But like you say, next time, look at the subject and use a pencil related to a watercolor marker relates to that. So anyway, keep it damp, and then we can drop in some of that yucky grey stuff. Use the smaller brush.
Flesh colour as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's around the mouth, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. If you look at it, I'm just looking on my phone
Uh-huh.
and enlarged it. The sort
Yeah.
of the roots of the hair,
There's some round.
fleshy colour around the eyes more.
I've got plenty of that in here. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
round here. I did think up a ditty for it. It was Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, moo.
David, you get worse.
Oh dear.
See the one I put on Facebook earlier?
No.
Oh, I sent Anne a picture of it. It's on your phone.
Oh, have you?
Yeah,
Picture
on your
of-
message. You read that out. That'll make you laugh.
I don't know where it is. If you think I can find it, what did you send it on?
It's replying on your phone,
Did you?
on your mobile, I think.
Don't know. Hang on.
It's a picture, and the picture tells you what it is. Is that all right, Chris? Bit of pink in it.
Yeah.
No,
Kept it nice and damp.
can't find anything from you, Dave.
You sent me a text this morning,
Yeah.
and I replied.
No. You sent me a picture of the cow.
There was another one after that.
No, I haven't got that.
Oh, I'll show you later when we warm up.
No, I haven't got it.
I'm disappointed. You love that one.
Okay, send it again then, please.
Absolutely will.
Oh, hang on, I'm looking at yesterday.
Add a little bit of blue.
No, I
How
haven't
do you
got
make,
it. I can see.
make a sort of grey colour? Blue and burnt sienna. Too much burnt sienna, it goes the wrong way. Goes a reddy grey, warm grey. Want a warm grey? Add a bit of burnt sienna to it. Raw sienna. That'll warm it up. Save you a fortune if you have to buy the tube. That was right. There was someone on Watercolour art group the other day and put a little thing up saying what your favourite colours. Mine are, I can't remember, it was Quinty Doobie Doobie Blue, something methylene gold, and quinine mauve or whatever it was. So I just sent a message back saying, yeah, well, that's it. That's the normal red, blue and yellow. Those are the three primary colours. So what you're really saying is, it was just the way they were sort of saying, oh, these are special colours that, you know, that I can't paint without. And I'm thinking, well, that's right. But all you've said is you use the three primary colours to paint with, which is fine. Which is what you're supposed to do.
Some people are fresher than others.
Get a fan brush. Do you reckon a fan brush might work well? And just smooth those. Get a few of those little hairy bits for a minute. Take the edge off it. Don't think it's going to work, is it? Yeah, well, just dab them in. Just notice they're stronger in the middle. Not that strong. Yeah. Doesn't matter. Lift it off because everything's really damp anyway. I think it's one of those pictures where where a watercolor pencil could be your friend. Just block in a bit of grey where you see the. I was doing this the other day, wasn't I, with a fan brush? It seemed to be a sort of a really handy go-to. Oh, don't know if I've chosen me. My kids take the mick out of me all the time because I start sentences and I don't ever finish them. It even gets me annoyed when I'm doing it. Just one of those things, isn't it?
Well, you're concentrating on what you're doing and losing track of what you're saying, I think.
We're kind of so used to it, aren't we now?
Yeah. Thanks, mate. We aim to. Please. I think, no, what I was going to say is this subject, just lately, every time I paint, last week it was a squirrel, before when I'm doing portraits, they always remind me of George because they lend themselves to, once you've blocked in a lot of the work like you're doing now, once it's all dried back, you could spend ages with a watercolor pencil just going flick, and just a light grey one or a light tone one, and just putting in all the fine hairs, which is what George used to do.
Yeah.
Which is probably what I'll end up doing later on today. Once it's Why not? It enhances it, doesn't it? And
Yeah.
and it gives you that. Let me see. I should have. One of the things I did yesterday. Gordon will be proud of me. I made a table,
Yeah.
and the idea was to tidy up one desk so that I could simply find my paints. So I've got a load of these sort of watercolor pencils. There's a grey color. Don't think it's grey, is it? Hang on. I need a grey one. You can get them loads of different colours. See, I've got a few,
You've got a choice.
but none of them are grey. Which, ironically, when I said earlier, I ordered some stuff. This one's a bit grey. I ordered some stuff, art stuff this week, and one of its colours was an ivory, sort of grey watercolor pencil. And you can see what I'm saying. With that, you can see later on, just spending time flicking in. Doesn't that sound like George? You'd be sat there and you could hear this
Yeah.
scratching away, and that's what keep that one out. It might be useful for later, but they don't tend to lend themselves so well when it's I don't know, when they're wet. I'm not so keen on them. When the paper's wet, I mean, you know, like it is now. Try using them. But this brush has got just grey paint out of the palette. I've just sort of lend it to one side and let it let it dry off a bit, and that'll give you as the paper dries, you can get some flecky bits. But I've got a white base on it anyway, so if I want to, I can lift off. Daisy. Oh dear, give me your answer, Moo. Don't like that colour over there, but it was just a base wash. So I'm going to mix up some more browny grey, burnt sienna, just drop in some blue and let that line of paint at the top. Suck it off, clean water underneath and let it flow down. But there's a shadow in there, so it's going to be quite dark down there, isn't it? There you go. Hopefully with the grey it'll let it flow down. Told you this would be an easy one. We'll be out of here in a minute. But one thing you could do is that you can experiment with the colour as well. I just dropped a load of blue in there while it's damp. See if that works. As long as you stick with the range of colours that you've got in your palette. I mixed up the greyish tone. I mixed it up with burnt sienna, blue and a hint of burnt umber. So while it's wet, drop in extra, like an extra bit of blue into it. Isn't going to what's the word? It isn't going to radically change it because it's local colour. It's part of the mix that's there. So it's a brilliant way of accentuating, enhancing, he says as he sticks his brush in the green, areas of the wet paper. Even burnt umber will work because it was 3 colours. So where his face, where his turned round looking at us, can add a little bit of shadow in there. I think we could extend this sort of all over. There's a few little white spots appear, and I'm just going to leave those for now. It is cerulean blue, most of it. There is a hint of ultramarine over that side of that half of the box, but the colour predominant colour in there is cerulean blue. Not that it makes a great difference. What I am going to do with this magic clean water that I keep talking about is clean water on the brush where this is meeting, and I'm just going to utilize that and drag it into his thing, his chest. It's not too bad. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, do. It's cool. But it's a nice colour. That it seems to be a predominant sort of mix. The burnt sienna, cerulean, but that's for me. But your palette's different. Potentially. 3 brushes. You should get a rigger involved. Could be a game changer. I'm waiting for Carol to shout out, what about the background? Well, that's the fun bit to come, isn't it? Well, I think one of the things it's all relevant to painting the portraits, really, isn't it? Because one of the things we've sort of picked up on, or I've picked up on, is the background washes, or background colours are important. Just sort of, if you can, just sort of layer. Don't use a pink. Got these tram lines all over. I don't know what colour it was. It was a sort of a fleshy pink colour. I'm going to have to. I don't mind them in the background, but on the on the portrait, one of the things what I was trying to finish what I started. I was going to say was making these layers for watercolour, not so much for acrylics, but it might be useful, is to do layers, let it dry, or it dries off, and then make the wet on wet sort of method tends to work better. Some of these bits off. You make it soaking wet and drop the skin tone on, and you get these nice random run backs. I love doing it this way though. I sit down and plan the picture out before we start. And put you on the spot so much. But doing it, you know, sort of al fresco almost, and it make it up as you go along. It's much nicer. I don't know about you guys, but that area there seems, I think his body could go up, can't it? Should be up there. A different brush. What I'm going to do is make that damp and move him up. Move him. Oh no. I'm going to have to move that green. Just going to drop it in there. There's like a post. Is that the post?
No, it's the bathroom door just on it. It's the bed.
I saw a post van outside 9 o'clock this morning, and I thought, ooh, quick, run down. Otherwise they ring the bell and it wakes James up and he doesn't like it. So I ran down and it wasn't. It was some woman with a cycle helmet on. Ooh, oh, with a red coat, sort of jacket on, looked like a blimmin' postman. Said, oh, I've just dropped this off. And it was a leaflet for Christmas. What? Who stopped it?
Don't know. What's happened?
Hang on.
Again.
I'll have a
No,
look up. Check my screen.
Yeah, it's okay now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how weird. Don't know what happened there.
No.
Oh well.
Well, all's well. You're back again.
Maybe. Daisy. This is one of those 5-minute paintings that's going to take forever, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Clean water. Wow, there's so much in it. Oh, it's no rush. Bit of yellow. Tint of yellow. Ugh, too much. Talk about backward. I'm still playing with me Nora Batty picture. I'm anywhere near. Well, every time I think it's looking so, then I look at it again. I don't know. It needs this. It needs that. So She's had more makeovers than whoever that woman is on Breakfast TV. What's her name? The one that is it Kate somebody? Oh, don't know. Can't remember. I don't follow it. I know who I'm on about. She turned a car over. Oh. Never mind. Don't come to me while I'm doing this. Jordan, she was, wasn't she? That's right. Should be all right. It's just around the edges. I want it dry. Yeah, this is Carol's favourite bit. Turn it round endways. Come on, Daisy. Whatever your flipping name is. What do you reckon? Go right the way along? Yeah. I think I will actually. Just clean water, usual. If I can scrub out. I don't know what sort of watercolour pencil that was, but it enough strong where I put the line. Really having to rub that. If that was delicate paper, you wouldn't get away with it. Bear in mind that next time. It's all right, just got to let it soak a few minutes or a few seconds. Let the water get in. And it's all right then. Right-handed. Ooh. Oh, that's not too bad. A bit more over here. Right. Start off hint of yellow.
Ooh, that's a big hint.
Thanks, Chris. Oh, well, then I put, is it Daisy? Is it Buttercup? It's my fault.
Buttercup,
Shouldn't have.
no.
As soon as you mention daisies or buttercup, I think I'm going for a clean, fresh background rather than murky. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want it to be. But it's one of those where you can just twitch the paper around. At the moment, I'm at this angle. Portrait. But Anne will have some fun with her cling film here. Sounds a bit funny.
It is fun.
Sounds a bit kinky.
Yeah, it's one of the Kevin lessons when we go to Waterloo.
Yeah, Gordon used to use it quite often.
Yeah, it is fun.
Bit of peach. Just going to turn it around in a minute. See if I can find some dark areas. But we've got a dark that we've been using on the cow, so I can drop a few of those in. And it's common colour, isn't it? It's common to the
Yeah.
What's it? I'm not worried about painting leaves. Wait till Carol gets hold of this.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's okay. I like it. Because it's really wet, we'll let it just sort of drizzle down. There's no reason. Thinner brush. Umber. And some blue. Bit of ultramarine perhaps. It's great when it's soaking wet. You can just, it's not as straightforward as you, is it? As it first appears? Because you have to sort of think, well, I'm going to put some real darks in. So
That's better.
you want them to go in sort of rough direction that you're thinking about. It's all subjective because one week you do it.
Poor Daisy looks like she's being attacked by flies.
Yeah.
It's because they're not. Be all right. What's it? Yeah, but it's watercolor, so they're moving.
Yeah.
So I'm saying.
They're bigger flies now.
They are.
Because it's going to wiggle, isn't it? It's going to move in a minute.
Yeah. It should all run in and blend, shouldn't it?
So, what we've been getting this year is loads of fruit flies.
Mm.
Oh, flipping out. I've never seen so many of the things everywhere. Mel's been putting, I don't know what it is. Get a little bowl and you put a few little things in it, and they get attracted to it and sort of nabs them. Loads of them, especially by the food caddy. If you put it on top of the food caddy. That'll dry back nice. Bit of the old Fambra. I seem to be, as I said just now, using that a lot lately.
It's quite a stiff bristle on that one, isn't it?
It's a what?
A stiff bristle.
Yeah, it's old matey boys, isn't it?
Oh.
Terry Harrison, Van Stippler, he calls it.
Oh, right, yeah.
You can do.
It is a very stiff brush. I found a fan brush, but it's soft.
Yeah. It's one of the fun bits. Beauty of making it really wet and what have you like this is that you can add, while it's still damp, you've got to be careful, but you can keep playing with it for quite a time. If you think it needs warming up, add some reds in it or off reds, some there. Look. And of course, there's no I'm not going to do it now, but put some salt on it. That's what I normally do quite often.
Yeah. That's another effect, isn't it?
Well, I decided on this because I don't want flies all over it. Put me off. Trouble is, once someone does it and you see that, that's it. You've had it, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah. It was like that though. Better with grasses.
But it's all about getting the water dry, isn't it? Na, 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 na. Turn it upside down and go really mean over this corner. Same thing. Just stick with a fan brush on it. Give it a good scrub. Get rid of any lines that are there. It's exactly the same. Pick your colour, really. Bit burnt umber. Ooh, don't mess with that. It's okay because I'm soaking wet. And drop in some of the neutral colour that we're building up. More blue, I think. Quite a lot of blue, I think. And add a bit of green as well. Turn up. Let's have a look, see what I've got. Then go. Oh, no, I don't want that. Usual thing. Well, you don't know what it is. Well, some of that's going to get lost in the cropping of the picture anyway. Quite like that. Just dropped in some green to it. Interesting brush, isn't it?
Oh.
You can get a line if you keep going.
Mm. It's a very useful brush.
Yeah. As I said, I was using it a lot last week as well. Quite a nice bit of colour I've just got there as well. Still on the brush. So we'll stick a few extra flies over this side. Bit of therapy, this. And got the same issue over here. Under. I'm going to make that do the same there. Clean water on that area. Bit of burnt umber. Quite a lot of burnt umber actually. All of blue. And all of a green. See what happens. Just let it do its magical bit. Any left over on the brush. Stick it over this side. Just drop it in. Give it a bit of balance. Don't like those browns there. You see as the paper sort of dries itself off, you can get it. Doesn't spread quite as much, and you end up can add some extra semi detail, isn't it? Put some flies back in for Chris. Oh, flies. It's not as easy as you think, because you get some nice colours in the background, you know, like the yellow that I put on and that. You don't want to get rid of all of it. You just want a few bits of it to stand out. But equally,
Sorry, I'm a bit confused, Dave. That bit that you did last in the bottom left-hand corner,
yeah,
is that grass?
yeah. It's
Right.
it's really dark grass underneath the
Okay.
shadow. Well, that's what I'm thinking it is.
Yeah. Because the cow is quite brown, isn't he?
Yeah, it's dry at the moment. I'm just waiting for it to dry off, and then I'm just going to put another wash on it.
Yeah.
But I was toying with the idea, not far off here, toying with the idea of drying it off and then putting another wash on here. As what I was saying earlier, you know, these sort of things tend to be sort of put a wash on, let it dry, then make it soaking wet, and then add another layer. Think about watercolour, it does fade back quite a lot from it. Well, that's the easy bit. Now for the fun bit, I suppose. It's a flat brush. Could have just sprayed it, I suppose. Just have to build up some layers. Drop it in. It'd be nice if it was to just flow naturally, which it isn't doing, is it? Difficult to tell. Come on. Daisy. I think this be a quite an interesting one for acrylics, Chris, because you can put some real solid colours on. Bring out a little bit of extra detail. Lost me rigor. Makes me laugh is they put a hole in here so you can hold it, and I'm holding it the other side. Weird.
It's because you're left-handed.
Yeah, absolutely. Clean water seems to be a rarity around here. Bit too much clean water, that's all. We'll live with it. We'll live with it. It's a matter of bringing out as much detail and info as you can, though. Clean water. Drop in a bit of that colour. Goes around a bit there, doesn't it? But I did put there is a layer of white on there, so when it's dry, I can still have that option of, with a makeup brush, smoothing stuff in, any hard lines or anything that I'm not happy with. One brush. I'm not using that flat brush. I've just told it to go away. Clean water. Just look at the image. I think we need a little bit more information in here. It's all you can. It's all it is now for the next 3 days.
Awesome.
Do a bit like that. Add some clean water. Go. Leave that. Go to the other side. Clean water. Hopefully it's dryish. Clean water. Bit of the dark paint. Start at the top. Let the water, let it flow down. Build it up. Gradually, you'll get some information, more depth. It's the same. It's going to be dark around there. So I'll make it darker now, what I remember. Because where that pin thing is, there's a slight shadow recess. I suppose they staple them in, don't they? Don't know. Don't want to know.
No. Bit like having your ears pierced, I guess.
The the frustrating thing, well, it's just one of those things, but as a vegetarian, you look at it and you think, I wonder where it is now. Best not to, isn't it?
Yeah. Definitely not wandering around in a field.
Oh, I think it's, yes, which is, like you say, it's best not to think about it too much. Put that something on there now, quick, while I remember. Bit of clean water. I love it. Always wanted to paint a cow. Not funny. Well, you see them in exhibitions and that, and you think, oh, why would anybody want to buy a picture of? I suppose if you had it, put it in your In the kitchen, perhaps, or I don't know. Where would you put it? Pass. Not sure. Burnt umber.
Like you said earlier, they've got nice eyes, and there's something about cows. They're quite nice, aren't they? Very sad. Very sad that they're tasty. But then, if they weren't tasty, we wouldn't breed them anyway. So
This is true.
yeah,
Well, the irony is they're getting their own back
yeah, they are.
every time they
Getting all that
fart.
stuff. Yeah, you're right. All the methane.
So talk about shooting an own goal.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
So you'd be imagine like if they could talk. Cow does a fart and it winks. It's winks to one of its mates. Says there's one for the team boys.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
See that? I was watching the news. It was just some idiots let a bomb off in a taxi.
Yeah. Outside the women's hospital where the babies are.
Thank Christ. But there's a lot of taxi drivers out there thinking, yeah. Well, every time someone gets in a taxi, they're having a closer look.
Yeah, I bet.
Closer inspection of them.
Yeah, scary. Luckily, he got out, didn't he? The driver managed to get out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily.
Yeah. There's so many rumours about what happened. But yeah, I mean, somebody said that it was supposed to be going somewhere else, but the driver diverted.
Oh.
Because of the traffic. It was supposed to be going to some sort of one of the remembrance memorials.
Oh, really?
But because of the memorial, there was, because of the parade or something, traffic was diverted. That's why he ended up there.
Oh.
And why the bomb went off, because it was timed. It wasn't deliberately meant to be outside the hospital or the refuge. It was supposed to have been at some memorial parade, but then another
sense.
Yeah, and then somebody else said something else, and who knows?
But luckily, it was nothing serious. It was he only killed himself in the end, didn't he? So that's fair game.
Yeah. Well, that was somebody. Another comment was that the driver locked the door. He leapt out and locked the door, so the
I heard that. Yeah.
But then his daughter or his wife denied it and said no, he didn't have time to think about that.
Well, I watched it on video. He didn't do that. He just got out and ran.
Yeah.
But it looked like one of the passengers, one of the people walking by that turned up, it looked like they did. It looked more like they was trying to shut the door. But I think they were looking at it thinking, can we save the person? And looked and thought, bugger that, I ain't going in there. No chance. Amazing how quick they catch fire.
You've got like central locking on your key fob, haven't you? So the driver could have leapt out and pressed it once he was out within that split second.
Yeah, taxi drivers do lock in passengers if they won't pay and things, don't they?
Yeah.
They've got a sort of a backdoor lock, especially for troublemakers.
Yeah.
So he probably could trigger it quite easily. Take him straight to the police station.
But very lucky man, whatever.
Oh, wouldn't he? Yeah. Thank goodness.
So annoying, isn't it? You let these people come here to get a better life and all the rest, and then you get one idiot.
Yeah.
But he isn't one idiot, is he? There's loads of them that are going through the same.
They all hate us, but they want to live here. They bite the hand that feeds them.
But I
Yeah.
was looking, yeah, it's so frustrating
Yeah.
because part of my heart says, "Oh, let them in. They deserve it," and they do. Most of them.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. They ain't hurting nobody. But then the other part, the reality kicks in. You think, well, they're not really
No, they're not harmless.
migrants that have a running away from. I was looking at all those boat people and that. A lot of them are just opportunist youths. They're just young men
Mm.
looking for, well, obviously a better prospects and all the rest of it. But to come over here and do that, that's outrageous.
Yeah.
You wonder why they, you get radical people
Yeah.
saying don't let them in and things like that.
That's right. Does make
I
you
was-
wonder.
I was thinking earlier, yesterday I was looking at like those poor buggers in, trying to get across in the boats and that, and I thought, and there's women and children. You think, oh, well, why don't we just sort of say, there's enough of us. You could take some in, couldn't you, and almost adopt
Never ending, is it?
adopt one or something, a family, and in your area, and you think, oh, you adopt one and they do that.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a terrible situation.
We are a very small island, really, aren't we? I mean, there's plenty of room in Germany and France and Italy, anywhere. Over in Europe, they got acres and acres of room. We're quite a tiny island, really.
Will be when Scotland buggers off.
Yeah.
That'll reduce it.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be great then, because we'll just send, well, yeah, come on, straight through, mate.
Yeah.
Hop on this. Send them all up to
Straight up
Scotland.
there, yeah. Live on a mountain.
I was watching that, getting political now, but I don't care. I was watching that Frankie Boyle program last night.
Mm.
I was waiting for Mel to do something or something to go, waiting for the dog. God, what an awful program that is.
Yeah, don't know. I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Talk about, it's more like a program for the SNP to.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't believe what I was there. Yeah, I thought, oh, I watched it the previous week, and all they do is run down English politicians and the English way of life and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And I thought, well, that's a bit off now. What's all that about?
Why do we let them?
Why is that on UK TV? On our channels.
Yeah.
It sounds like the sort of thing they'd have in Scotland or something.
Right.
Well, they're going to leave, aren't they? So at some point, I let them go. Get our money back now while we've got the chance.
Yeah.
It's not as complicated as that. It's so complicated, these politic things, aren't they? Right, that's that bit. So look, it don't look that bad on the screen.
It's very good.
Well, last week, when I finished, and I was looking at the squirrel, and I thought, oh, you could do a bit better than that, Dave. But once it dried back, and because they're always so, at this stage, they're all so wet. You can't sort of put in the extra touches that you really want to do. Like it's wet. I'm going to make its mouth dry. start won't stop too much. If you've got a bit of, like Chrissy was saying right from the start, got this sort of it's clean water. Don't want to make that the nostril darky bits wet, otherwise I'll be in trouble. I have got some plenty of pinky flesh colour here. Always mix up a bit more. And drop in a bit more, just to highlight a bit more fresh. But being watercolour, you need to make it quite damp. Because you know it's going to fade back. Well, invariably it's going to fade back. Get that nose. Okay. Bit of clean water. I've got a little bit of a run back there. Clean water. You can always spoil yourself with a bit of white. My tummy's rumbling here. Well, in the mornings I only tend to have just a an apple in the mornings. Yeah, and just save myself for lunchtime. Well, this bit's going to dry back, and at some point, put a little bit more grey under here. I think a bit more shadow. Actually, all I've got to do is clean water and nick a bit off the top bit. Put a bit of a shadow there. Then when it dries, I'll add a little bit, some nice bits of white here and there. I'll show you. Just a matter of using my just a few highlights. Look for them. Some all around there. There's one there. I was waiting for someone to say, "Cool, that's not bad, Dave. Good enough to eat." Oh no! Don't.
Really.
Oh, the neighbour collects book pillows.
All right. They're good, those.
Yeah, she bought 3 and ordered another one.
Oh, good.
So yeah, so that'll be 7. I've told to 2 neighbours.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah.
Chris is you're gonna have a whale of a cow of a time even doing this.
I will.
What I'm finding it quite fun actually.
Yeah.
Quite it's more it's quite a bit of concentration going on here by my standards. But yeah, I think I could.
I quite fancy doing it a bit sort of cartoony.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, don't let me. That's what I was hoping you'd say, something along those lines. Let's get a bit of.
There was a time not long ago when there was loads of those animal close face-ups, like the giraffe and cows and sheep and things, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all do them cute.
It did go through.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's always that. Go on then. I'll dare you.
I was going to say, you definitely caught the curious expression.
Well, I think I'm at the stage where I'm thinking I don't particularly want to. What I will say is the little badge thing.
Yeah.
It's not a lemony yellow. Just change it.
Yeah.
I think I'll have a go at that with I'll probably add a little bit of watercolor pencil on some areas, just tidy it off.
Mm.
Nice. What's it look like with a frame on it?
The expression's very good.
Yeah, it's lovely. So neighbour who came to collect the pillows shut the door and shut the bathroom fitters outside. That's when to jump up again.
Keeps you fit.
Well, yesterday he didn't shut the porch door and Leo escaped.
Oh gosh.
That's no good.
Luckily he doesn't go far. He just ran up and down a couple of drives and came back in when I called him.
Ooh.
At least he comes when he's called.
Yeah, he is pretty good like that.
Mm.
That's the trouble with little Frodo.
I saw his mummy this morning.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mel keeps in touch with the lady and sends her like little videos and things.
I'm still waiting for him to come in, join the art class so that everybody can get to see him.
We're all waiting to see him.
I'm the only one who's seen him and had a cuddle.
Oh, you've got a cuddle as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was easy to get him because he's so manic. Just spraying a few bits on that pink and lifting it off with a bit of tissue gives you those sort of random bits. Well, I reckon that's almost over to you lot now.
That's very good.
It's very sweet.
Certainly going to be fun.
Well, I know what I'm like. It's not the be end or finished article because I will add a few random bits if I can. See if I can. I use the I think the watercolor pencils are really handy for things like this, especially around there. You'd be able to put a little bit of extra detail in it, and around the eyes there's a piece, there's trouble is, like you guys, when you finish a picture, you don't finish a picture because as you walk away you come back and think, oh, that ain't right, that needs sorting.
I find with the watercolor pencils, I did it all sort of nice, and all the nice sort of hard hairlines, if you like.
Yeah.
And then completely forgot, and then of course when I put a bit of water on them, they all went all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So used to acrylic and not sort of moving.
Yeah, it reactivates, doesn't it?
That's why my squirrel has such a huge tail. Because I had to, all the original sort of fuzzy bits disappeared, and I had to do them again, and it made his tail twice the size. Never mind.
There's advantages and disadvantages in that regard.
I shan't be going back to watercolours in a hurry. I'll stick to my acrylics. I'll leave the watercolours to you experts.
Yeah, it is different.
Totally. Yeah.
It's harder in a funny way.
Watercolour.
Yeah,
Oh, watercolour, definitely. Yeah.
it's I keep thinking I must do get those oils going, which was I hadn't said to Mel, but that was one of the reasons I built the table that fits alongside me over that way. There's a long table now that goes all the way along. It's covered with stuff at the moment, but that was the idea, was that I could utilize that bit for just the oils, because you could just do a bit, dabble a bit, stop, and then put it back. This is annoying. When you come to do yours, you'll find the same. This is annoying. The color of it, the angle of it, everything about it is bloody annoying.
It's a rocket ship.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
I don't expect the cow likes it much either.
No, the angle of mine is wrong. That shouldn't be there. It's more, the angle's more that way. So I'll have a look. I'll have a go at that before I put it up for auction. I think, yeah, I'm going to leave it. Well, for now, let it dry off, and then I can diddle and tinker away. Tidy this bit up here. That could be a bit more of a blend, couldn't it? Just here.
Shape, don't you, of the chest?
Just jab. Start lifting out bits of colour. Horses can lift out some bits to give it a little bit more blend, where it sort of blends into the back, into the cow. But that's still soaking wet there, so that's going to dry back quite nice. Yeah. So over to you. And I've got pencil lines on it, which I can rub out. It always looks a bit strange when you finish them, because you know the pencil lines look like part of the picture, and they're not. When you get rid of them, it tightens everything up. Yeah.
Dave, did you say you put white on the paper first?
I did. Well,
what
no,
sort
I
of
didn't.
white?
Not on, no,
Oh, did
only
you
on
not?
the
Right.
head. Only on
Oh,
the
right.
head.
Okay.
I just put a very loose wash, because I know later on, either today or tomorrow, when it's, well, probably tomorrow when it's dry, it gives me the option of, well, if I lift off now, for example, piece on the head, if I lift off by using a brush with some clean water on, I can go right back. There, I've got a nice shiny white patch there now, because on the original, there's like a, that I'm looking at, there's like a lighter patch there. So because I've got that under, that sort of color underneath, this is the same that I keep saying about the portraits. By using a little bit of white underneath, you can just use, this brush is practically dry, but if you just give it a rub, you can get back to not bare paper, but just back to a layer of off-white, which is quite good. And you end up being, like I said, a bit of a makeup artist, because where you've put bits of grey in, you can leave those grey areas and just try and define some extra detail, because it's
So
the highlights that will make it look more three-dimensional. But
so was it a Chinese white watercolor or something?
No, I just use, I think I put it on on the watercolor website was there's a link there that's with all the ones that I use. It's called, hang on, I've tidied my desk up, I can't find bugger all now. Oh, there you go. I didn't tidy out that much because I still left certain things where they are. It's called LeBlanc. No, yeah, Lefranc.
All right.
Lefranc.
Okay. Let's go on.
Linear gouache. It's just extra fine white gouache, but white gouache anyhow. I've got a few actually. The permanent white one does it. Lately I've gone all foreign. Lefranc.
Lovely.
Le France bourgeois linéal de gouache extra fine. If you got, but you can't find it because of the I think this label here would be nice in an orange, a more of an orange color, because it'll balance the thing, warm the picture up. So there's that's niggling in the back of my mind. Yeah, I'll have a look at that. Hang on, I'm going to sit down. Oh, look at, oh, that's, no, poor little, oh, no, it's lovely. Because I don't see it from back there. I very rarely look over my shoulder, look at the screen. Oh, that's really good. Carol's really quiet today.
Yeah, I am, aren't I? Just taking it all in.
I was showing off your pictures earlier.
Oh.
Well, I'm in love with Scrooge.
He's
wow.
brilliant.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
More work done on just finding the time.
And the squirrel, love the squirrel too.
Yeah.
Awful job drawing that. I don't know why. I found that really hard.
Let's go to the loo in a minute.
Well, as I say, my favourite, the Scroogey one, the eyes on the Scrooge one is like really looking at it.
Yeah, brilliant.
So you definitely wouldn't buy a used car off of Carol's Scrooge. Would it?
I'm going to have to disappear. So I will say thank you, Dave, and good to see everybody.
Yeah, see you next week.
So take care then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Jess. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, look at the time.
Yeah.
That was
I'm
good.
gonna
A
have to-
quick one today.
Yeah.
You in the conservatory, Carol?
No, it used to be a conservatory, but my son-in-law has sort of built it in. So I've got the roof is flat, but it's got a big lantern roof in it up the top.
Looks really smart. It's like where you've got the corner of the windows coming like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it's left most of the windows. Yeah.
Brilliant for painting.
Well, I don't do it here because I've got new carpets. I have to do it in the bedroom on my own downstairs. We've got bedrooms downstairs. Side down house.
You got nice views.
Yes, well, before all the trees grew, we could look all over Holes Bay and see the railway line and the road going.
Where are you then?
Hamworthy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, it's all good side. It's quite nice.
Yeah, I always wanted a house with a view.
Yeah.
Never
just
did
nice.
get one.
Yes.
I get a caravan with a view every now and then. It's nice.
Well, that's nice.
This is very true.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to go as well because
Yeah.
I'm sure that
Yeah.
they'll be gagging for a cup of tea. I haven't had one for 2 hours.
Yeah.
So
Right.
better go and
I've
keep
been
them,
I've been
sis.
busy. I haven't drank mine. So unusual.
The time did fly by.
Does, doesn't it?
Certainly does.
And coffee.
Anyway.
Oh, next week is fun as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Bean.
Oh right.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we've gone from the cow with a funny expression to a human being with a funny
Wait till you get to
expression.
Mr. Bean. Yeah.
We can do some
Yeah.
cartoons next week.
Right. We'll see you next week
That'd
then.
be fun. Yeah,
Okay.
thanks, Dave.
Bye.
See
I'm
you.
just going to leave the room because I don't know how to turn it off.
I do it.
Okay.